It is Saturday, December 13th. What time is it? A little after 9 o'clock in the morning. And we just wanted to bring an update into this winter storm that is moving through the panhandle, bringing some snow to the south. We are starting to see the beginnings of maybe a transition there and a couple other things that have popped up this morning. So we're just going to discuss those real quick and let you be on your way. I'm going to move the camera around. So if you can just forgive me for the not real nice look to this, but we wanted to just get this out as quickly as possible, and recording something and getting it edited was going to take a little too long. Okay, so now you are looking at my screen here, and if we zoom out, you can see the whole southern coast right there. We've got one low here in the western half of the Gulf, tracking south, bringing some strong winds over here. And then embedded in all these clouds is another little low zipping through, bringing us our moisture here in the panhandle. So first, I'm going to make sure that you can see. Let's turn off the satellite, makes it a little bit easier to view. I'm going to zoom in on the southern panhandle. We're going to start down here. So the heavier band of moisture is pushed through. We've gotten early reports of probably what, 1 to 3 inches of snow down in the south. Kind of just early reports from some spotters and some other Weather Service employees down there in the south. But what we're starting to see here in the south, not only is the radar just struggling to pick up on the snow that it was picking up on earlier, but we're starting to see those winds shifting from from the north, starting to see them shift to the south, bringing in that warmer air. So we are starting to see the potential of the snow transitioning to a wintry mix and some snow. So, for example, Hyder here, this portion of Prince of Wales Island. Earlier, it was reporting unknown precipitation, which we translate that as, it's not snow, it's not quite rain, starting to transition here, but still seeing a north wind in Hyder, so we'll see how long that lasts. Metlakatla also reporting unknown precipitation with a south wind, so we'll be very closely eyeing Metlakatla area. Temperatures already 33 degrees, and so starting to see just marginal temperatures there starting to warm up. Ketchikan, zoom in here, generally starting to see the winds here, but this report here just north starting to shift to that north, showing that flow coming in from the south, warming temperatures up. 32 looks like a couple areas reported there in Ketchikan. Also freezing rain has been the latest report there in Ketchikan. So potential for that transition to begin to happening here in the Ketchikan area. The freezing rain is not a surprise. We kind of expected to see that transition of, say, an hour or two of the freezing rain before it finally fully switches over to just rain in this area. So let's move to the north. We did get a call from a spotter in Cake within like a minute or two of it starting to snow there, about an hour or so. So that was nice. Thank you for the spotter there in Cake. Petersburg, Wrangell, also seeing the snow there. Visibilities as of right now down to 3/4 of a mile in Cake, half mile in Petersburg, 3/4 of a mile in Wrangell. So yeah, seeing some good snow there, slight to moderate snow in the Wrangell to Petersburg and Cake area. This is where we have the winter weather advisory in effect for the south here, and then also portions of the central panhandle. This one will expire sooner than the one for Cake, Wrangell, and Petersburg, just because as that warmer air pushes north, we should be seeing that transition here, and then the snow will just kind of lighten up in this area. Also, Hyder, yeah, seeing some heavy snow there, upwards of like 20 to 30 inches, 25 to 30, I think is what we have in the winter storm warning for Hyder. So lots of snow expected there over the weekend. Moving to the north, now we're looking at the central panhandle. We have Sitka here, Hoona here, Gustavus. We got Elfin Cove and Pelican. Right here, Stevens Passage. North winds out of Stevens Passage, upwards of 30 to 35 knots coming out of Taku Inlet there. Also, Rockies blowing 30 to 35. Lynn Canal easily 25 to 30 there. The Point Retreat and Naked, they're reporting 20 to 30. So out there in the open, not a stretch of the mind, stretch of the imagination that could be seeing 30 to 35 there in the canal. Zooming in on the Juneau area, what's new here is that we issued high wind warning for the downtown Juneau area, seeing those wind gusting reports over 60 miles per hour. Down here, farther south to far southern Douglas Island, that one's been pushing 70. So very strong winds coming out of Taku Inlet here, and the strong winds there in downtown. Here in the valley, though, it's pretty quiet. I mean, there's still still pretty calm winds out there in the back of the valley. Every once in a while, we see gusting. The winds gust in the Juneau Airport area. So yes, some of these gusts here might be able to snake their way into in nearing the front side of the valley. So that's something to keep an eye on. But as of right now, we're not really expecting those stronger wind gusts that we're seeing here to reach there. Moving farther to the north, let me put on the satellite view again. We are seeing the clouds moving in, but just the moisture hasn't reached the northern panhandle yet. But the other thing is the strong winds coming out of the Skagway area. There's a high wind warning. There was some reports of gusting over 60 miles per hour. So yeah, there's also a high wind warning for the Skagway area. And with these areas that we're seeing the winds, wind chill values are pretty cold. Skagway earlier on was reporting wind chills about -5 to -10. Klondike was reporting -30, and the Juneau area. What's we got there in the Juneau area? PAJN wind chill values in the single digits to near 10 degrees. So pretty cold wind chill values here in the south. So overall, zoom back out. We'll put the satellite view back on. Low pressure zipping to the north, bringing in some snow. As the snow slowly pushes to the north, we have a winter storm watch for tomorrow because this one just kind of peter out, and then another push of moisture will come in for late tonight into tomorrow. So stay tuned for those updates throughout the day as we'll be putting together that package for this afternoon. So otherwise, for now, I'm meteorologist Grant Smith. We've got Nick Morgan behind me there, and then Greg Spahn and Aaron Brunson also on the forecast. We've got broken down the forecast in different pieces here, so we'll be putting that together through the rest of today. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I'll keep an eye on the comments there as the day goes on. Have a good rest of the day today and a good rest of the weekend. Thanks for watching.